They will face Ian Koncevich, a senior from Roswell, Georgia, out of Milton High School, a transfer from Savannah State in his first year with the St. Peter's Peacocks. Last year, a 3-3 record, a 6.13 ERA with Savannah State. But again, a local product, chance to start on opening day at Rush Chandler Stadium. Pretty exciting for Koncevich.
Very exciting, and against a team that he likely grew up either rooting for or against, because you got to pick one of them. You got to pick one. So either way, the emotions are going to be high. For this Georgia Tech lineup, though, as you said, when you've got a guy like Luke Waddell at the top of the lineup, and even Michael Goldberg with the year that he had last year behind him, it's incredibly exciting for what this Georgia Tech lineup could be with all the potential behind it. But again, potential doesn't necessarily lead to results. They're going to have to prove it on the diamond.
Well, Luke Waddell proved a lot last year. Team captain announced a little less than 10 days ago. The only team captain here in 2020. First time Tech has had just one captain since 1991. Breaking ball misses inside.
Were you even born in 91? You couldn't have been. You weren't born in 91.
No, I wasn't. No. Danny Hall wasn't here either.
That's true. It's Jim Morris, right?
Jim Morris, you betcha. Doug Creek.
Georgia Tech's all-time strikeout leader.
Oh, Robbie.
Did I take that from you?
No, but I'm impressed you had it.
Well, Georgia Tech's SID, Andrew Clausen, told me that on the field pregame, and he told me that you told him that.
I was going to say, yeah, 6 degrees of bacon.
Yep.
Pitches at the knees on Luke Waddell.
Just wanted to beat you to the punch.
You got it. It's all right.
Yeah. Any, just for all of our listeners, if you get any Georgia Tech stats that are really good and somewhat quirky, they're definitely Wiley's. They're definitely Wiley. Quirky in an endearing way.
Yeah, that's how I was described at a young age. Wiley, you're quirky and endearing.
Very good.
All right. Luke Waddell at the plate. Speaking of things that matter. Out of Loveland, Ohio, and rated the number 60 prospect among college players in the MLB draft according to D1 Baseball. But what a year he had a season ago. Started 58 games, the final 44 at shortstop. And once they made that switch, Austin Wilhite moving to second, Luke Waddell moving to short, Tech went on a tear. They played .720 baseball. As he serves one through the shortstop hole and into center field, Luke Waddell, his first hit of the season. Comes in his first at bat.
That's what you're going to get from Luke Waddell. He's a hit machine. One of the best leadoff men in the ACC. And
in that delivery either, so he'll take a long walk off the mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Luke Waddell aboard at first after a single. There's a look at first-year head coach Lou Proietti. He's got Casey Aubin, his pitching coach. Not just his first year as a pitching coach, it's his first year out of college. He pitched for UMass last year. Rolled over, first base side, and foul.
Get you some relatability.
Yeah.
Fresh off the mound and in the dugout as a pitching coach.
Hey, I faced this guy last year.
Exactly. Probably throw some mean BP, too. Probably too good at BP. You got to get an experience throw your BP.
You got Dan Jaffe coaching first, throwing BP for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, you got to have some miles on that arm.
Yeah.
You can't have a young, spry arm throwing BP. Nobody likes that.
It's been a while since Dan Jaffe had that young, spry arm. I'll get called into his office tomorrow.
No, not at all. I have a BP arm now, to be honest with you.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's
exciting.
Miles on it, man. It happens when you get old.
It's like wearing a new glove.
There you go.
2 balls, 2 strikes on the junior from Norcross. Reaching for that one and flicking into the net. But Barron, it just bears repeating the jump he made from his freshman to sophomore year. Roddy, he struck out 44 times and 89 at-bats as a freshman and hit just $180. The following year, his on-base percentage jumped by 174 points.
And a lot of that had to do with the walks. I mean, he was top 15 in the conference in walks a year ago.
Fouled away. And I'm not even sure he needs to reduce the strikeouts, especially nowadays.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's crazy to say. I don't think that's an issue. If he can continue to produce the number of walks that he produces and hit the ball over the fence, that's what baseball's become. And that's why, from a potential standpoint, you look at a guy like Barron Radcliffe, and he fits the modern game. Now, when you make contact, you got to make it count.
Yeah,
if you're going to have that many strikeouts. Yeah, exactly.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. He's got plenty of looks at Koncevich. I think Barron's just begging him to come inside. Corner sets up outside. And he might have come inside just a hair more, but this will hang in the air for Shuba, who makes the catch. 2 away. A team that struggled mightily a season ago is not your typical, Northeastern top team that Tech brings in, like a St. John's, who will be here Sunday. As Colin Hall, the coach's son, takes ball 1. Strong season last year. One of those 4 homers came in the season finale, or rather the final day of the season against Coastal Carolina in the postseason. Now in the cleanup spot. Called strike 1, but, between St. Peter's in general and then seeing a sidearm on the mound, that is not common for opening day starter.
Absolutely not. And it's going to test Georgia Tech's focus because they're well aware of the record that St. Peter's brings in here over the last couple of seasons. It's going to test Georgia Tech's maturity early in this year. How do you adjust to the adversity?
And Koncevich working away. And every pitch, save the one Michael Goldberg bunted, has been against a left-handed hitter, so it's been constantly on the third base side of home plate.
Yep. And like you said, away. And early in a season, it's your first at bat of the year.
Yeah,
Everybody's all excited. You want a fastball inner half that you can drive. That's what you're looking for that on every at bat, but especially the first one of the year. And against Koncevich, you're going to get soft stuff away. So it really tests what you've been working on all off season.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Colin Hall, drafted by the Rockies out of high school, now eligible again as a junior. Alpharetta, Georgia.
And where Colin Hall ultimately ends up in this lineup is really going to be fascinating to me for Georgia Tech because we saw the power numbers, 4 home runs a year ago. But I think Colin Hall has the potential to be a 3 guy or to be a guy maybe even higher in the lineup, depending on how things shake out with Waddell and Goldberg, if you want to shuffle it around a little bit. But if he ends up being the 4-hole, it's going to be a little bit different than what it's been for Georgia Tech in the past.
Hall pops this one up in a shallow left, and making the catch, Nicholas Shuba. Trivia question. Who was the last Yellow Jacket to homer in his first career at-bat?
An unofficial trivia question. All right, I love it.
Ground ball sent sharply to third, gathered by Gavora. Throw a little high, but back on the bag. First baseman Jesse Matos, 1 away.
I'm gonna say, as we look at the replay of this, nice job by both sides to field that and make the play. It's a really nice job by Matos keeping his foot on the bag. But I'm going to say...
That was actually an infield single, the first career at bat. Not even the only one of Kel's career. Love you, Kel. 0-1 here on Jackson Webb.
How do you know that?
I know that because I was thinking the same thing when he stepped up there 5 years ago. Man, what if he hits a home run and then an infield single? We were all like, what?
And then he hits the home run.
Hit the home run like the 6th inning.
Okay, so who's the first? Who's the last?
The last is currently on the roster, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Ball and a strike.
Wouldn't be Barron Radcliffe, would it?
Nope.
Colin Hall.
I'm going to go ahead and suggest it's somebody you wouldn't expect.
Okay. Then I give up.
Michael Goldberg.
Really?
Yes. And that's a great story in itself as Webb takes ball 2. It was against Dartmouth 2 years ago. It was not opening day. But Goldberg's first career at bat came in the second weekend of the season. He rips one just like Compton, except down the left field line. And it was ruled a fair ball. As Webb tries to push a bunt in between the mound and the plate. Throw from corner. In time just to be Jackson Webb. Nice play by the catcher.
Ball to the wall. The walks are something that this team in St. Peter's has to get corrected this year.
Runners take off. High, bounding ball into the hole. It's short. Tough play for Veed. He won't be able to make it. Puts it in his back pocket, and the bases are 2 away. Radcliffe, the 8th man to bat here in this 2-run second at the moment. Big swing and a miss. Bottom fell out of that pitch. Strike 1.
It's a really nice pitch down in the zone. As you said, bottom fell out. Baron Ratcliffe swings right over the top. And I can promise you, when he saw that pitch out of the pitcher's hand, his eyes lit up, and he saw 4 runs and a home run trot.
Hit 12 homers a year ago. Fouled off the leg that time. 0-2 on Ratcliffe.
Very similar location down in the zone. Ratcliffe still over the top of it. Now he finds himself in a tougher spot where I think he's going to get softened away for at least 3 pitches before you get one back over the plate.
Ratcliffe hits this one high to center field, and a lunging grab made by Andrew Connor. Baron Ratcliffe just missed it against Ian Koncevich. And Hall fouls this one. Colin flew out to left his first time up. Head coach's son, older brother Carter, has moved on to pro baseball, not as a player, but as a professional player development. Colin Hall drives this one well into center. That'll hang up for Connor, who's underneath it, putting away the first out. Well, here was Andrew Compton's first career at bat. 102 miles per hour off the bat of Drew Compton. The distance, 385 feet.
102 off the bat. Mm-hmm. It's impressive.
Ball on a strike. Rolled foul. New Jersey Player of the Year. First team All-State. And as a senior, he hit .459, a .588 OBP.
Now batting center fielder, number 5, Colin Hall.
ACL injury. I mean, he was one of the preseason, favorites to be in the mix for Player of the Year in the conference. As Jackson Webb goes the other way to left, charging in as Shuba, and they will send Drew Compton towards the plate, and he will score. A sacrifice fly from Jackson Webb. And Georgia Tech, he's got some big shoes to fill as he sends another majestic shot towards the wall in right center, but at the wall, Andrew Connor makes the catch. Ooh, he thought he might have been 2 for 2.
I thought he might have been 2 for 2 as well. I've done